wondering what the fuck you know about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. It's what we do.
Stop coming close to me, bro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dude.
Hey, please stop.
Dude. Hey, break it up.
Hey, go ahead.
Get your supervisor on the scene.
I don't need a supervisor. You can see him down at the gym.
I have 2 grams of cocaine in my butthole.
Okay, outstanding.
Please step aside. I'm going in.
No, you're not going in.
Don't touch me.
You're not going in, sir.
Let the record show that you just battered me.
Step back.
And you're using...
I'm in a public place. I can film whatever I can see. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime. Photography is not a crime.
Welcome to the John Ligato Show. I'm John Ligato.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm alright, Ari. It's not allowed here to take photos or videos, okay? You need the permission from the administration about that.
So it's not allowed to take photos or videos here?
Yes, I know.
Wait, who do I need permission from?
Administration.
From administration? Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Long Island Audit, an individual, was recording at a public library when approached by security personnel who requested them to cease filming. The person's identity, referred to as Long Island Audit, suggests their involvement in documenting public interactions and encounters. The incident occurred within the premises of the library, where the security personnel took notice of the individual's filming activity and expressed their objection.
Have you not heard that before?
I've heard it plenty of times. It's just I'm surprised because, well, my name and my badge number is right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you see it?
Tibbets?
Yep,
640. The pen is blocking the number.
Oh.
640?
Yep.
And Dennis 647. So what I'm doing here is a First Amendment protected activity.
That's good.
I'm recording. I know you don't care, sir, but listen, if you violate that in any way and interfere with that,
I'm not violating it. They asked you to leave.
Yeah, but they can't ask me to leave. This is a public library. Can I speak to a supervisor, please?
Despite being asked to halt their filming by security at the public library, the individual declined to comply. They invoked their First Amendment rights, specifically their freedom of the press, as the basis for continuing to record.
This is probably a shocking factual development for all frauditors, but even NBC couldn't come into a library and begin filming patrons.
They invoked their First Amendment rights, specifically their freedom of the press, as the basis for continuing to record. By referencing this constitutional protection, the person asserted their belief that their actions were legally justified and protected. The First Amendment, which safeguards freedom of speech and the press.
Your local library. It provides a safe and welcoming environment. But not everyone plays by the rules.
You guys should call one, correct? So, I'm going to request a supervisor again. I would appreciate if you guys can get a supervisor down here.
Wait a minute. You don't rule the roost here, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just requesting a supervisor just for...
In a minute.
Because you guys are a little bit hostile. I can see the tyrant in you, Utter.
Yeah.
You're a real tyrant.
Yeah.
I can see it in your eyes.
In law enforcement experience.
Now, when we talk about First Amendment audits, First Amendment audits are when typically a group of people or a person, a lot of times it's at least more than one person, arrives in the library. A lot of times they'll announce that they're doing a First Amendment audit.
I'm going to basically just record anything I can see, patron or not, so just test your guys' conduct. I mean, as you guys already know, this is an employee conduct check, so we're...
Very often they tend to be very intimidating. It's a group of people or a person that tends to have a fair amount of knowledge about what their rights are. A lot of times they're pretty astute.
Newsflash, the library is a designated or limited public forum, which means they can restrict filming of customers' computer screens or individuals who have no intent to use the library for its designated or intended uses.
Libraries may seem like safe places, but a Channel 3 News investigation found they also attract a fair share of troublemakers.
Joining right now, NorCal Cop Watch was assaulted. We're at the Dublin Public Library and was, outright assaulted by a patron here in the library. They're going to arrest him. They have him as the aggressor.
So you certainly can put in place reasonable rules governing library access and patron behavior that allow you to control the library, to maintain it as a safe space for all the library users to enjoy and use. First Amendment audits are a social media phenomenon. Individuals claiming to be citizen journalists.
The judge implied that I was just going around harassing people and calling it journalism.
Individuals claiming to be citizen journalists, they've gone into welfare offices, they've gone into city halls, into private offices, and they've come into public libraries. And public libraries, because you're this blend of public and private space, means that they can come in and film in public spaces. But you can have reasonable time, place, and manner rules in place to prevent the harassment of staff, prevent the harassment of library users, and prevent the invasion of privacy of library users.
The Supreme Court has ruled that libraries can restrict access based on time, place, and manner. And in this still shot, the auditor is filming a patron who appears to be reading or working. So if you think about it, two auditors walking aimlessly around the library, not attempting to go from point A to point B, and then pointing their camera at you, minus any explanation, interrupts the intended manner in which libraries choose to function.
After the arrival of a supervisor, the situation escalated further as the person was faced with the threat of arrest. Feeling compelled to comply with this ultimatum, they reluctantly provided their identification. The threat of arrest likely created a sense of urgency and fear of legal consequences, prompting the person to reluctantly reveal their identity.
I don't, obviously I don't. No, I
took an oath to it.
anything. Jeez.
Dude, why you gotta be such a tyrant?
You gotta be such a tyrant. See what I'm doing there?
Acting like a child?
Yeah, so are you.
Acting like a child.
Did you get permission when you post that video of these people?
Don't need it. They're in public.
You don't need it?
Yeah, they're in public.
Well, that's against the law.
What is against the law?
To record someone without to video record a person without their permission.
Right here. There's cameras everywhere in here.
That's different though.
This guy's pretty knowledgeable about cameras and stuff. The auditor script number 13 is, there's cameras everywhere. But this guy said that's different, though. And it is different. Well, one large difference to the old and invalid Frauditor argument that security cameras and Frauditor cameras are the same is that the library doesn't use their security footage to make money. So DMA and his crew aim their cameras at library patrons, clearly capturing their images and then monetizing it on YouTube.
Kevin, what's the best way to handle release forms?
You have to be very careful about release forms.
You brought up something interesting, crowd shots. I did something the other day on a subway and everybody was just staring at the camera and I'm trying to get my subject. I had to use some of that footage. What rights does the public have in terms of what if someone sees that and says, no, you didn't get a release from me and I see myself on camera there?
Well, that's a little different. Crowd shots, there's several sizes of crowd, and it's not the Coliseum or it's not a huge rally of some form on the mall in Washington, D.C. That's a crowd shot. On a subway, if you're being able to pick out faces, that's a different dilemma. Because especially if you're going to be showing faces, backs of faces and your character, fine, but you can't blame them. They're down, they're doing their thing, and you're going to be making money off this image probably if you sell this movie, and they're not consenting to. They were never asked for their consent to be in the shot. So
did you get permission when you post that video of these people?
Don't need it. They're in public.
You don't need it?
Yeah, they're in public. Don't need it. See, you're learning something here today, man. Come on.
And libraries really are different in a lot of areas of the law. Right? Libraries are government buildings, right? They are government facilities, but there are other aspects of libraries that tweak that facility idea a little bit in that it makes them not so open. But when it comes to libraries, you have a very big kind of wedge that goes into this, and that's privacy. So when you look at policies, obviously one of the things a library can do to prepare, as we discussed, is libraries have every right to have a policy on.
What's that?
What makes you think you can just walk around recording people like?
Oh, because it's.
I don't care what you're doing. You didn't ask me if you can test me. I don't care.
No, that's not true.
Really, so you can just walk around and just record people.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's called freedom of press. Here, let's be quiet.
Freedom of, what you mean be quiet?
I said let's be quiet. Us both. It's freedom of press.
I don't appreciate you walking around with your camera. How do you know what a person's going through? Especially if a person says something to you.
Then don't go in public.
What do you mean then don't go in public?
Yeah, there's no expectation of privacy in public.
You're about to witness justice, street justice, or in this case, library justice. But I applaud it.
Libraries across the county won't tolerate behavior that violates their code of conduct.
So like City Hall, we were just over there. Police stations, we were over at the police stations. We were at the county clerk records office. They're all public buildings, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, you can ask us to not film you, and we try not to film people, but if you come up, like the reason why I came up is because you were talking to him, so I wanted to see what was going on.
He can continue filming you if he chooses.
He cannot film you.
Ma'am, with all due respect.
He can film anything in the library. He can record anything in the library. If you do not consent to being filmed, you tell them that. If they have a problem with that, we can involve the police, okay?
No, don't do that.
You have
Talking to you. Well, she's inciting a riot right now is what she's doing. Yeah, she's incorrect. Excuse me, ma'am. You're trying to talk over me.
I am.
It's not your job to protect anybody's rights.
Yes,
first of all, no, it's not. That's not. I understand that absolutely.
Do not film him without his consent or any other.
I would do that out of being polite. But you're inciting a riot right now, ma'am, and you're horribly misinformed. Why are you getting loud, dude?
No, I'm getting loud because it's justified, and they know it.
It's called
you know it. So now that I asked you for your permission, and you so arrogantly, not only denying me my rights, but now you're talking about things that you and I both know that if I speak plainly about them, if we're talking about the law, if we're talking about getting police involved, they'll be looking at you first, wondering what the fuck you know about it.
So you certainly can put in place reasonable rules governing library access and patron behavior that allow you to control the library, to maintain it as a safe space for all the library users to enjoy and
wondering what the fuck you know about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. It's what we do.
Stop coming close to me, bro.
Whoa. Dude.
Hey, please stop.
Dude. Please. Hey, break it up.
My take is simple. Libraries are designated public forums with rules, like no cameras, and you must use the facility for its designated purpose, or you may get your ass kicked.
Wondering what the fuck you know about it.
Right. Yeah. It's what we do.
Stop coming close to me, bro.
Whoa. Dude.
Hey, please stop.
Dude.
Please.
Hey, break it up.
John Ligato Show is being brought to you from right outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. Hit all those buttons. I'd appreciate it. Semper Fidelis.